Family, it's the manhood mentor, Jabar Lance Brown. 6-foot giant reporting for duty. Huh? Hello. And in this segment, we're going to get into performing under pressure, right? Now, I know this might be an uncomfortable topic for some people, and not everyone is good at performing under pressure, but I wanted to talk about helping you to locate your ability to perform under pressure, right? Because this is one of the first indicators of moving from immaturity into being a mature man, right? And when I began transitioning from immaturity into maturity as a man, I became committed to assuming more responsibility within my life and assuming total responsibility over the development of my lifestyle. Okay? Excuse me. And we talked about some of these things in an earlier segment, right? When I made it clear that being a man is not about the amount of money you have, it's about how much responsibility you assume, right? Being a man is not about how much money you have. It's about how much responsibility you assume. Okay? And I became dedicated to being the man when I was about 25 years old, right? 25, 26 years old. And I made the choice to completely stop asking my mom for financial assistance, right? And I use this as an example because this signaled and signified to me the independence associated with manhood, meaning I could handle me, right? And I was committed to doing the things necessary to handle me. I studied and I focused my efforts on every area of personal development. I started taking notes on everything that I felt could make me a better man. It was no limit to the amount of studying and meditating and self-development that I would do. I studied material on relationships, communicating, real estate, business, and most importantly, I studied information on the mindset, right? The activity, the habit, the human habit required to be the man. It didn't matter what form of media I had to choose. If the knowledge was available, I wanted it, right? When I'm in study mode, I'm like a mad scientist or, like a head coach, like the legendary Grambling head coach, right? The great Eddie Robinson. I'm focused on winning, on being the greatest. I study like a head coach preparing for a championship, right? I like to win. I love it. Whatever I do to win. I play to win, always. And I play for keeps. Huh? Hello. After all, your life is no small thing. I view my life as a big thing. I want you to do the same, right? Because you don't get a second chance at your life. This is all the chance that you're going to get. And this is how I gain my competitive edge in the marketplace. Constant mindset training is how I developed a tolerance for performing under pressure. See, to perform under pressure is when you have the ability to maintain a calm demeanor when expectations change or when things don't go as planned. And I think I kind of stumbled across the skill. I didn't, it was a series of life's events that helped me adopt that habit and then the discernment to identify what it was as I matured. You see, I didn't realize that as I was studying different topics individually, when I combined those topics, it would create a sort of survival versatility, like I was a manhood MacGyver, right? I started to respond better when I was placed under pressure because beforehand I had already developed the proactivity required to equip myself with the knowledge to perform when that circumstance arose, right? Let me tell you how I did it. You see, in my daily activities, I already started to program my mind with a desired outcome of how I wanted things to develop. So when the circumstance may have appeared to differ from that outcome that I had already anticipated, I knew which adjustments needed to be made on my behalf to rearrange things in my favor. You see, this skill gave me more control. You can develop this skill too. That's why I'm here, to teach you this stuff. Anything you commit your study, your practice, and your execution toward, and repetition, because after you study and practice and execute, you have to repeatedly do these things, right? Then you begin to learn and ultimately and hopefully master that particular action, right? I was gaining the ability to perform under pressure because I was in constant search of more knowledge and the skill set required to be better in everything I did. Learning became a natural thing to me, and it still is. You know, I learn all the time. This is why I prefer to read as opposed to watching TV. You see? And at that time, I discovered that I had become increasingly more confident about myself, because when I would have conversations with other people, right? And most times the people that I would talk to would wind up learning from me, even though they were older than me. So this was kind of a signaling for me. It was, you know, one of those telltale signs for me that some of the things that I was doing in my study was the correct thing, because I began to have the results to reflect some of my actions, right? No matter what topic they would initiate, if it was along the lines of what I had educated myself on, I knew how to apply that knowledge. I was beginning to become aware and more conscious that most people don't perform well under pressure because of one thing. And it's a number of reasons why, but I begin to acknowledge that one thing, you know, throughout my course of interaction with these people, right? And it was, what I discovered was the people were underperforming in that area of performing under pressure because they didn't prepare themselves to perform. Now, this is not across the board, right? Most people will prepare for a job interview, and when they get the job, is when they chill, right? Right? Most people, they got the same skills today that they had when they first got the job 30 years ago. That's you hustling backwards. All of these are preparation issues. Most men will campaign to get the girl. Then when they get the girl, they stop performing to keep the girl, right?